Hello and welcome back to another episode here on Judith Plains. Well, we've already had quite a busy morning. We've done a few contracts, we've already completed a few as well. So we did a mowing contract on field 49, that was $22,303 minus a $600 lease cost. 2 cultivating contracts, one on field 46 for $34,046 minus a $400 lease cost, and one on field 24 for $26,067 with a $400 lease cost as well. And we've just got $30,700 for completing this contract. So we'll just jump out there. We've also got another couple. We were looking at the Rocky Mountain ethanol. It's only $240,000 to purchase. We do need corn, somewhere to dry the corn, and somewhere to store sorghum as well. We do have a sorghum contract we were looking at, but let's complete these first. So we did that other three, the mowing and 2 cultivating contracts already. We've been paid for that. And we've did the ploughing contract here. We did this with our Massey Ferguson tractor and our plough, which is actually still up on that field. That was $21,209. Then this harvesting contract we've just completed with the cotton. $600 lease cost gives us $37,426 plus the $30,000 from the extra bales as well. And a $600 lease cost for this one, because we still don't have a cultivator yet, $14,405. So that should boost the bank balance up quite a good bit. Yeah, so $511,000. Let's check the sale. Nothing that we need yet, but we do need bins on site to store grains and all that. There's another cultivating contract that just popped up as well. We might take that on because we do need to boost the bank balance quite a bit. And we've got this one that we need to take on as well for sorghum. Anything left over we are going to take to our grain bins that are going to be put up today, because we need to start getting sorghum and corn, but corn isn't ready today. So let's see if there's a corn contract. No, not yet. So that's going to have to wait, but we can take on, let's borrow the items for there. That's a sorghum contract, so we're going to complete that. Probably take on the cultivating contract as well. I was just wondering, do they have a dryer here on the map? I don't think they do. No, so we're going to have to put up a dryer ourselves on the farm, which will give us dry corn, and then we're doing the sorghum contract, put that into the bins. When we get some corn contracts through, the remainders will go into our bins as well, and then we'll dry corn as we need it into a separate bin, and hopefully purchase this ethanol plant. But we still do need a plough, and we also need a new tractor, a bigger horsepower one for a bigger plough. I can get a plough just now, but it's not really worthwhile. I'd rather get a bigger one, not a plough, sorry, we've got one. It's a cultivator. I'd rather get a bigger one so we can work more ground in less time, just to increase productivity a bit on the farm, because it is quite a big map. It is going to take us quite a while to get around it, especially when we've got smaller equipment. So the quicker we can get into bigger equipment, the better. But I think a good thing to do just now is to get the ethanol plant. Not right now, but to work towards that, the ethanol plant first. That should bring in a decent amount of money for us. Let's just cut through here. Right, let's go and get this contract completed. We're going to see about getting grain bins on site. I don't know how big we're going to go for a start, but it's going to be small because we've got limited room. I know it's quite a big plot, but I don't want to fill it up with grain bins everywhere. So let's get going with this harvesting contract, and we'll probably take on that cultivating contract as well. So we'll see you in a little bit after we've completed these. I'll go and get the truck from our yard, which I don't know if we can nip through that side. No, because there's a river, isn't there? I'm pretty sure there's a river down there. Right, let's go and get the truck. We'll head up to get the combine started, get a worker on that, and we'll see you for a little montage of harvesting, probably cultivating, and maybe another contract or two on the side as well. Well, that's us coming in with this last load of sorghum that should complete the contract. We've got 28,000 litres in here. I'm not sure how much it's going to take to complete it. We'll be into this next hopper. But we did have the grain bins installed. As you can see, the money has dropped a good bit. There we go, that's completed. So we've got 13,428 litres of sorghum left over. We're going to keep that. It did sell a little bit, so $646. So that should stay in the truck, and we'll be able to complete this. So it was a $1,000 rental cost, so $29,185 in total. That pays back for some of the bin cost. I was going to work our field. I have field 9. It doesn't need ploughed when it loads. There we go. It doesn't need ploughed, but we do need a cultivator, which we haven't got yet. So we need to work on getting the cultivator. That's going to take a bit of doing because the tractor we need, I think, is just under $500,000. And then the cultivator itself is another I think it was 160 something thousand. So yeah, it's not cheap. Anyway, let's take this back to our yard, take a look at our new grain bins, and we can put this 13 and a bit thousand litres of sorghum straight in. So we'll see you there in just a minute. Well, we can see the grain bins already. It was $147,000. So it wasn't cheap, but it does hold 800,000 litres of product. So that's pretty good going. And we can put extensions on at, I think it's 250,000 litres at a time. I can't remember the cost for it, but we have made room at the back. And also when we pull in here, you can see what we have done is left a little bit at the side there on the right hand side. Instead of the path running along, well, it opens already. Right, let's drop that in there. Instead of running the path straight on from where I am closer to the shed and along the side there, we've just kind of went off to the left a bit because we can actually fit a couple of grain bins along that grassy section there between this road and that shed. So it's kind of future planning there. We can get, I think it's 10 bins, so we can get another 2.5 million litres of storage if needed later on. We'll be as well leave that covers off now. But that is the new silos. So $140,000 for it, and it holds 800,000 litres. So it should do us fairly well. That guy's still working away in the field. We've got the plough back with the Massey Ferguson as well. But I think just now what we need to do is have a look at, I was waiting to say contracts there, but then I just seen the weather. Let's have a quick check and see when that's going to turn. Oh, it's only for 1 hour at 8 o'clock, which is still a bit to go yet. We could maybe take another one on. I don't want to plough our field because then it means we're going to have to go over it with lime, and I don't have that. There was a really good harvesting contract came up for almost 100,000, but it's spinach, and I don't know, let's have a quick look. Spinach. Does it have a storage tank? It does, 35,000 litres. Right, that was my issue. I thought we had to run beside it all the time. But it turns out we don't. So we could potentially do that, although, in saying that, it's a 3.5 metre work width. And the field is field 111, which by the looks of it is up this top corner of the map, is it? Oh, wow. Oh, that's going to take so long to do. That's going to be well into tomorrow. How big is that field? Oh, it doesn't say there. Can we do this? 32 hectares, right? And the field we just harvested with that big header was 10. So 3 times that size. Right, that's gonna, oh, he's almost done. He's on the last, let's reset that. Is it the last headland pass? It is, yes, he's just started it now. Yeah, that's not going to go well. I mean, it would be a cracking amount of money to get, but I think we can do that with some of the other contracts. We do have a couple of sorghum ones. That one's just beside us, actually, field 15, which is here. And then it's 30, and it looks like it's a different one, I think. It is, yes. Well, hopefully we can get a corn contract through. So we do have 13,000 litres, was it? Where did we hear sorghum? 13,000 litres of sorghum. So we need about, I'm trying to think, maybe 20, no, we need more than that because we need 12 dry corn to 3 sorghum. So we need another 13,000 litres of corn, and then we need to dry around about 50,000 litres of corn as well. So we're going to need about 60-something thousand litres of corn. Most of that's probably going to be ready tomorrow, I would imagine. There's not much fields. How far off? Harvest, all right. They are one of them's harvested there. I'm just looking field 89 as well. Oh, it's growing. 89 will be ready tomorrow. And then we have 3, 7 and 20 down here. Right, so they would be available tomorrow, I would imagine. But that's all the corn. There's not much corn for being up here. This one's already harvested. 89 and 114. Oh, 89 and 114 are still, I would imagine, tomorrow. So there may well be a few cornfields we need to do contracts for tomorrow. I think for today we're going to leave it there for contracts. We're just going to wait until that he's actually finishing up now. So wait till he's done, we'll collect that money. We'll jump into tomorrow and see what contracts are available. So we'll see you first thing in the morning. Saying that, he's just finished the contract now. So let's complete that in here. So $21,086 because there's a $600 lease cost. So we'll complete that. Right, we're going to have a little sleep here and we'll see you first thing in the morning. Well, that's us just completing the corn harvesting contract now. We have almost filled the Super Bee, 99% full, 80,751 litres. So now we need to see how much is going to be left over from the contract that we can keep. We also need to fuel this truck up and repair it. It's getting quite low on both of the bars. So that needs to be done today as well. There is quite a few more contracts popped up. There wasn't much this morning. We got a fertilising and a ploughing contract, but that was kind of all we got. Let's see if we can get this other hopper unloaded. That's going to take a minute to do, so we'll go and complete these two first. The corn harvest wasn't worth much, so 14, at least cost of 1,000 as well, so 13,800 for that. But $21,072 for the fertilising contract and $25,834 for the ploughing contract. Right, let's go and get that other hopper empty. So yeah, it was only about 14,000 for this. It's not much, but it gives us corn, hopefully, if we have enough left over, that we can then use potentially for the corn dryer as well when we purchase that. So that we can dry corn and have normal corn as well, at normal moisture. We're going to use that for the ethanol plant when we purchase that. So we're almost there. I think it's going to take most of this hopper. Just need to wait until the money starts increasing. There's not going to be much left. There we go. 7,100 litres worth. That's better than nothing. Right, now that's completed, we've got $264 as well, which kind of counts towards the $1,000 lease cost, so $13,821. Right, a quick look here. There was a massive cultivating contract came through, and we don't have a cultivator yet, but we're going to borrow that items. That is going to go a good way towards the tractor. A big one popped up, but it's spinach again, so I don't know. That's going to take quite a while to do, and the rain's coming at 1 o'clock, and we're now at 11, so we don't have long enough to do that contract. There is another corn contract, though. It's field 114 up on the top right of the map. That may be worth doing. Another sorghum contract, which we'll probably take on as well. And that is it. Yeah, what other ones have we got? Stone picking, rock removal, supply contracts. We have none of these. Well, we've got sorghum, but we don't have 31,000 litres worth. And we need it for something else as well. So we may take on that one and just work away doing the harvesting ourselves. Put workers out on the cultivating. Both cultivating contracts actually are paying quite well. I'm not going to take that on yet. We'll get the equipment sorted out for the other cultivating contract first. But let's head back to our yard. We're going to put this into storage. That's going to give us, I think it's 13,000 litres of sorghum, 7,000 litres of corn. So we are getting there slowly. But we'll do a couple more contracts. We'll do that, was it corn or sorghum contract? We'll do that one as well. Get that cultivating ones out of the way, and hopefully we're in a position where we can purchase. I'm not quite sure yet. The ethanol plant is affordable. Right now it's affordable, but I would rather have some more machinery so that we can work our fields ourselves, and potentially another field as well, so we're ready for next year and we can have 2 crops. Right, let's get back to the yard, drop this in there, and we'll see you for another little montage of what we're waiting to do next, the cultivating and the harvesting, hopefully corn and sorghum contracts. So let's get on with it before the rain comes, hopefully as well. That's our next battle. Got to get all this done before the rain, and then kind of start off after the rain's finished, probably later on this evening, maybe about 4 or 5 o'clock, but let's get going. Well, that's both that fertilising and harvesting contracts done, but we've been caught out with the rain, so I think we've lost a little bit of yield. There's still 1,200 litres of corn in the combine, but it's not worth going all the way up to the top of the map for that again to come all the way back down to our farm. So whatever we've got left here, we're just going to take back once it completes the contract, and that will be ours. But I think it's going to be very close because that's 25% in one hopper load, so there's not going to be much left over from this contract. There is a couple more contracts we could do, but obviously we're going to have to wait and skip time a little bit because we can't do it in the rain. There is 2 pretty good paying cultivating contracts. There is another harvesting contract that I'd like to get done, but obviously with the rain we can't do any harvesting just yet. I hate backing up the Super B trailers, they're a nightmare. But we do need to purchase a corn dryer as well and get that on the farm, which we can very easily do because we've got 550,000 in the bank. There's 77. We might have a little bit left over then. We'll just wait for that money to rise and we will complete the contract, or we'll stop tipping the corn. Any second now. There we go. So $386 of harvest income. We'll just cover that trailer. 8,054 litres of corn left over, so that's not too bad. So that harvesting contract minus the $1,000 lease cost was $14,284. So we'll collect that. And the fertilising contract on field 119, $15,892. So there was a couple, there's the 2 cultivating contracts, 27,000 and 31,000, but we can't do that because of the rain. There was a sorghum contract there, but there was a soybean contract as well, $44,500, and the tip point isn't far away from where we were doing the contract on field 73, so that may be worth doing. But for now we need to skip time forward to maybe 5 o'clock or so, maybe 6 or 7 to get it to dry up a little bit, and then we can do a couple of more contracts, some cultivating, and then maybe that maybe the sorghum or the soybean contract, probably soybeans because they'll sell for a bit more and the contract's worth more overall. So let's take this back to the yard, we'll put it in our grain bin, we'll see about a new corn dryer and see what else we need to purchase in this episode because we'll be nearly finishing up pretty soon. So let's go and get this tipped off at the yard and see about purchasing a corn dryer. Well, we're just back from the shop and we spent $9,000 on this smaller trailer, and you'll see why we've got a small one in just a second. But we did spend $475 on diesel for the truck. We just need to find corn, there we go. I take it a full load will be fine for this. We also serviced the truck and both trailers as well, $9,263 for the truck and $158 for the trailers. And we also spent $21,392 on a new corn dryer, which is in here. So we're going to start drying a first load of corn just now, and because we have enough money to do it, we are going to be making the dry corn, putting it back into a different grain bin up there. This is awkward to get into. That's close enough. We'll put the corn in there and see what happens. I'm assuming we could just leave the trailer under there and it'll just unload as it needs to. But while that's unloading, let's go and check it in the production menu. Because I think it was $240,000 for the ethanol plant. So obviously it needs corn, sorghum, which we've got already, dry corn, which we're away to start making now, and propane, which we do need to buy a trailer for. But there's the corn dryer. So it costs $5,640 per month to run this. But it takes 15,000 litres of corn and makes 12,900 litres of dried corn per cycle, and that happens up to 12 times per month. So I think the 5,600 isn't too bad. Right, that's that empty. So if we put the trailer under here, I wonder if it would just manually put the corn in as it's made. But we'll find out. Right, let's activate this. And it's set to storing. That's going through it quite quickly. Yes, that's not bad. Well, it's not putting anything into the trailer yet, so I don't know if we need to wait for 1,000 litres and then it'll... Let's bring up our little menu here. It does say start filling, so I think we'll be okay leaving that there. So we'll leave that running for a little while. It's actually happening very fast, so that's not going to take long. I'll maybe fast forward half an hour maybe, because in a full hour I think it's going to run through it very quickly. But we'll keep an eye on that. But we do have a corn dryer now. I was going to complete a couple of contracts. There was that 3 cultivating contracts, potentially do a couple fertilizing ones, and I was going to do the soybean contract, but it is getting quite late in the day. It was still raining. No, it's cleared up now. Oh, that's perfect. I don't know. I think we'll leave it just now and focus on this new ethanol plant. Hopefully this is going to bring in a decent chunk of money. Where are we now? So it's already at 30 litres of dried corn, so that's not too bad. Right, we're going to keep an eye on this. I think we'll leave the episode there, and when we come back in the next one we'll get that new ethanol plant. And I was looking at another field, which is this one here. It is grass just now, but it's 418,000, so potentially do a couple of contracts. But we do need to purchase a propane trailer, which is one of these modified ones here. Oh, that takes 20,000 litres. That can't be right. 8,000, that's... that's way off. I think to keep it looking right, we're going to probably get one of these. Not sure which one to get though. Where is our production here? I say our production, we haven't purchased it yet. So 3 litres of propane, 3 sorghum, 3 corn and 12 dry corn makes 8 litres of ethanol. I'm just wondering, does that trailer take ethanol as well? I think that green icon is ethanol. So we can move propane and ethanol with it. Although it's maybe better getting 2 smaller ones and use one for propane all the time and one for ethanol. Oh no, that's not ethanol. So how would we transport ethanol then? Because that's liquid fertilizer, that's not... Ah, that's an odd one. So now we need to find something that's going to transport ethanol. Because it's a different icon there. Right, we're going to have a look into that for the next episode. I figured that trailer would have done both. Well, if that's the case, we'd be as well just get one big tank and just use it for propane and ethanol. You know what? It sounds silly, but it may be in pallets. Every 1,000 litres it comes out, it maybe produces an IBC of ethanol. Oh, that's maybe a thing. A pallet. Pallet tanks. No, it's just propane. So that's not what it is, unless it's in one of these, which would be kind of silly, but we'll just check through and make sure. It's not going to be in big bags, no. Well, yeah, that's a bit, that stumped me a little bit there. So yeah, we're going to figure out how to transport ethanol, and I think we maybe just have to wait until we purchase it in the next episode and do the first run of when we've got everything in and see what it brings out. But I think it's going to be a pallet maybe. Right, what are we at now here? Almost the first 1,000 litres of dried corn, so this really isn't going to take long. Right, we're going to leave the episode there. I'll keep an eye on this over the next hour or so and see what happens. And we'll see you in the next episode where we hopefully purchase we will purchase an ethanol plant and hopefully purchase a field as well. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we're going to see you again in the next one very soon. Thanks for watching.